The Interstate 65 runs from north to south in central part of the United States, starting from Lake Michigan, Indiana, into Alabama, reaching the Gulf of Mexico. Vicky Heath, who was newly engaged, was a 41-year-old mother of two. She worked at the Super 8 Motel in Elizabethtown in Kentucky. On the morning hours of the 21st of February 1987, police found Vicky dead behind the motel. She had been shot and sexually assaulted. It was a little over 2 years later that the killer struck again. Margaret Mary Gill, known as Peggy, was 24 years old. She was a student at the Sawyer Business College, and in order to pay for school, she worked as a night auditor at the Days Inn in Merrillville in Indiana. Peggy was known for her skills for baking and decorating cakes and giving them to her co-workers, and she also loved to cross-stitch. She chose to do the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shifts because they were quiet and not so hectic. It was March 3rd, 1989, and as protocol, Peggy was meant to ring Betty Pierce every morning at 5 a.m. The call was for updates on any staff cover and also from a security perspective. It was Betty that called the police department at 5:51 a.m. as she could not get hold of Peggy, and it was not like Peggy to miss a call or be absent for a significant amount of time from the desk. Shortly after 6 a.m, the first officer arrived and noticed a couple of customers waiting as nobody was at the front desk. Peggy's parents were called. Peggy drove a green Plymouth Velar which was still in the parking lot. Anna, Peggy's mum, was told to stay by the phone in case she called whilst Terry, Peggy's father, went to the hotel. Initial opinion was of a possible abduction, as Peggy's keys and purse was still behind the front desk, but there were no signs of a struggle. By the time Peggy Pierce arrived at the hotel at 6:30 a.m, the police began a search of the hotel. This is where they found that money was missing from the cash drawer, which had been pried open. When the police went onto the second floor, they entered a vacant wing. Going down the hall, which would be the furthest point away from the main office, Peggy's nude body was found. She had been sexually assaulted and shot with a .22 pistol. Her uniform was folded neatly next to her body. A couple of hours later, at another Days Inn in Remington, Indiana, which is about 52 miles away from where Peggy worked, another auditor was attacked. 34-year-old Jean Marie Gilbert's body was found 20 miles away on a rural road from where she was abducted at Days Inn. The killer also stole $247. She had been sexually assaulted and shot dead. The Indiana State Crime Lab determined that the bullets at both crime scenes of Peggy and Jean's were from the same firearm. And also from the DNA collected, both had been sexually assaulted by the same man. In 1990, the link of DNA from Peggy Gill and Jean Gilbert were also linked to another Days Inn auditor, an unidentified woman who was 21 in Columbus, Indiana, who was raped on the 2nd of January 1990. She survived the rape and attempted abduction. It wasn't until 2010 that DNA recovered from the last three victims were also linked to the murder of Vicky Heath at the Super 8 Motel in 1987. For decades, the I65 killer remained a mystery. On April 6, 2022, the killer finally identified through investigative genealogy, making a match through a close family member. Harry Edward Greenwell was identified as the I65 killer, and he was born on December 9th, 1944 and died in January 2013 from cancer, aged 68. He had been in prison throughout his life and had even escaped twice. The criminal history of Greenwell included robbery using a firearm, assault, and also arrested on a sodomy charge. The decades-old mystery had come to an end. To now be able to have a face and name of the killer will hopefully have some closure for the victims' families, although it's a pity he'll never serve a sentence. However, through this, there is a possibility that this killer could now be linked to other unsolved cases. And Sergeant Glenfield of Indiana State Police said, detectives will be continuing to investigate whether Greenwell is connected to other violent crimes in the Midwest. Please like and subscribe for more content.